Well, welcome everybody. I know we had a little bit of a delay here today, but look at the ensemble we have today. Man, this is, as I look around, I'm basically here amongst some great people. We have six-time world champion, boxing legend, Michael Carbajal, right here in the house. Look at that, yes. So what we're doing now is going around the table to the people. We have Johnny, who's a skateboard cinematographer from LA. He's got his camera with him. Take that, yes, that's great. We have Laura Carbajal, who is one of the Phoenix's biggest boxing promoters right now, and just a living legend amongst this group here. Okay, and then going to the other side, we have the Hollywood major actor. This guy has done more acting that he has to start applying for Asian roles because he's done everything. Darius Love in the house. All right. Moving on to the biggest or the newest biggest Inglewood developer. Kid Chaos right now, James Ward. He's building all these buildings and homes for the people. Moving on to the big man right to my right. The man who stands at a high 5'9", 5'10", but one of the world's best farmers, and actually has a world record in it, which we're going to get to. But he can grow plants, hemp. Pretty much, you put a seed in front of him, he just has to sniff it and knows exactly where to plant it. Right? I mean, that's what we were doing last night, is talking about how many places you put it. And I got to warn you, you can't put it in me. Okay? I mean, you tried. You said I can make anything grow. Well, no, I'm not sure. I'm not growing my own toilet paper, if that's what you're asking. Okay? And then, of course, you know the two beautiful girls on the either side here. We got Bonita and Nancy Schwartz. Nancy, who's hosting the In the Reel, if I could get that out. But thank you all for coming in. I know you guys all came in from LA, and Michael left his gym and all the sweaty people to get showered to come here. So I want to thank you. And I know you left the field early, and right now you're just praying God is on your side with the sun to grow. So, guys, usually
I'd call back to make sure one of the guys I work with sent me some pictures so I could see the plants today.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Well,
Can't live without that.
Yeah, I know. You were showing us all the different, it was pretty amazing. But, I want to go around the table. I want to make sure everybody gets a kind of a fair shot. But it was such a big crowd tonight, and we are happy to have you. But we got to get to everybody. Now, first, I'm going to start with Michael. This guy has so many belts that if he put them on top of each other and he was inside, he couldn't get out. That's how many belts he's won. Now, Michael.
That's the way Laura locks me up.
That's it. That's what she puts the belt around.
Belts around.
Yeah, but you like it because you always get out somehow because she's smiling over there. So tell us, in the world of boxing, as we sit around amongst all these people, you got actors and developers and cinematographers and farmers. Like, how do you think this unity? I'm trying to bring everybody together, and you sit at a table. Everybody could talk. Everybody has this magical personality that needs to shine, right? And Darius usually is probably the best speaker when it comes to the good vibe, and I'll even throw Nancy in here as my good vibe people. They keep me alive, they keep me rich, and they keep me full of energy. And because of you guys, we're doing shows like this to try to bring people together. So I'm gonna resort back boxing. Why don't you tell us what's going on in the boxing industry, and then we'll kind of move into getting everybody's parts.
Right now, the boxing is just coming back right now since the COVID. So
right.
We got a big fight on Saturday between two Mexican-American heavyweights.
Wait, this Saturday?
This Saturday.
Cinco de Mayo Saturday.
Oh, is it? No, that's not Cinco de Mayo. That's a week.
Next Saturday.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm a little early.
Okay.
I'm
It's
excited.
in between.
You're a little excited.
It's in between
Is that
the
why you
two.
ordered Mexican last night? You got all excited?
Chica bonita.
That's right, Johnny.
Hey, Darius, you better not eat on Cinco de Mayo. No Mexican food on Cinco de Mayo.
Simón. Yes, sir.
I'm just joking.
No, but you're right. But you're right
You're
because
going to go like this. Nah, Michael told me not to eat Mexican food on
so
Cinco
I'm
de
not.
Mayo.
You got all the secrets because you're right because Andy Ruiz is a good friend of mine. He fights.
Oh,
As
he
well.
was just in Michael's gym. He's posted up on it.
Really, tell us about the gym.
Michael Carbajal's gym. It's in the neighborhood where he grew up, 9th Street and Fillmore, which was East LA. Very rough, rugged, stabbing, shootings every day. But where the story all began, right in the heart of the barrio. So he's grew up there, born, raised there. We're still there, where the legendary backyard gym was, where all the greats,
Where
Frank
La
Gifford.
Nueve
And,
is. That's where
yep,
I'm
La
from.
Nueve.
Tell me about. We live in Silver Lake. I'm a native of Los Angeles and Watts, and I moved
There
to
you
Silver
go.
Lake 15
There
years
you
ago.
go. We're still in the hood.
Right, in Echo Park, Silver Lake. So I tell all of the Vatos Locos, Serenos, I say,
They know.
hey, I'm with you. They say, hey, brother, you okay with us? And
go.
I tell you to see what East LA has now evolved into and now has become a melting pot, which is what brought me into real estate. We have a development right there in Elysian Park that Living Transform, Living Possibility CEO James Ward, he's a partner with the Inglewood Mayor. But when it comes to boxing, Freddie Roach, I trained with him. And I wanted to ask you how food, health, farming, how filming, media, documenting it, and how it takes as a disciplinary person to be able to start with the day you went and trained for the Olympics.
Well, you got to be very, very dedicated. You got to have the desire, the discipline, all of those, and you just got to love it, and you got to love to get hit. Even though I never liked it, but
Who does?
but I loved it because of the fact, I was a warrior. You said, I love the fact when you just stay there and fight, then you got me. You got me there. You got the best fights, exciting fights, and that's what I wanted to do. I just want to be there and win, be exciting for all the fans, and that's what I did, man. I look back and I almost start crying. I look back at that and I go, damn, all of that, and you still, it's unbelievable when you look back
Well-
because it's been so long now.
Well, also when you start from you going as a world Olympian champion, right? First now the student, before becoming a teacher, before owning the gym, you were a student.
Right.
And my grandfather's a son of a slave, age 7, Norfolk, Virginia. I'll never forget this, right? Witnessed World War I, fought in World War II, marched on Washington during civil rights, lived to call out our first black president, what he thought was going to be Colin Powell. But he saw the Democratic National Convention speech by Obama, which wasn't my favorite. Let's get that Trump channel going. I said it. Anyway, I said it to back it. But anyway, the point I'm making is it's very
That's why I
important.
love this guy. He tells it like it is, and we've been friends for 12 plus years because of that honesty.
I'm holding it back. It's okay. It's okay.
And Frankie Lyles, Jim Brown is my uncle, raised me since age 7.
Frankie?
Magic Johnson.
Frankie,
adventure
Michael, I think they
manager.
were at the Pan Am
Come on.
We
Games
were at
together.
the Pan Am Games.
Come on. So I said
Michael
that
starts
specifically
way
because I
from the
did my
beginning.
research
Yeah,
about
me
you,
and
and I
Frankie
trained on
Lyles.
Southpaw for 10 years to play Tupac at Freddie Roach's gym. And Frankie brought me to my first gym when he dated my aunt. So I understood
That boy.
the mentality of discipline, obedience,
Oh, yeah.
and then more importantly, you having to give back. So I want you to elaborate on your mind state, right? Because there's a fight in life, whether you're
There you
taking
go.
physical hits, whether you're taking mental hits, whether you're taking hits in general, life is going to hit you, and it's how you respond. So I want to know how you responded after coming out of the Olympics.
Yeah, Mike, the Olympics is obviously a major thing. Your belts are great, but the Olympics that's worldwide recognition.
That was wild because I come back home from the Olympics, airport,
Yeah.
everywhere, the whole neighborhood.
Everybody's on you.
Everybody. I'm like, damn, I didn't even win. Everybody,
You won. You won the
everybody's
silver.
like, "Wow,
That is
I
an
won the
honor
silver."
beyond honors, man.
But, I didn't get
Think of the guy who got bronze.
Yeah.
But you're a warrior mentality.
Oh, he is
But
a
you're,
warrior.
but you're the warrior
Completely.
mentality.
Yeah.
You see, gangsters, right, follow. Soldiers
bronze
take
of the
orders, but warriors have none. That's my tombstone. It's trademarked.
Okay.
Watch it. Working with this guy here, be trademark, patent, and it'll be a channel by the time
But
we
I'm
finish
on the
this
plot
podcast.
next to you, see? And it's got 2 arrows.
But yes, talk about that warrior mentality.
See, the warrior mentality is like, you want to go in there and just throw down. You want to go in there, stay there, go toe to toe, and that's it. Whoever lasts, you're
I
best.
do have a short
If you
clip of
last
this
with me-
warrior
if
that
you
I
last
can put
with
out.
me- if you last with me,
Get it ready, Jack.
I said, God damn, this boy can take a shot. And I love that because we have a longer time to fight. I said, oh, I love him because he's taking it, I'm taking it. And by 7th, 8th round, I said, I'm gonna wear his ass down. Body shots are killing him.
And your last fight,
love it.
your last fight with Arce, that was a war.
That was
Question.
a war.
He was
How old were
12
you when you got
months older.
started?
I was 14.
14.
14 when I started.
Slide in a little bit. You talk so
Oh.
quiet.
Oh, okay.
That's
I'm
cool.
sorry.
That's all right.
Let me-
I just want to make sure people hear this is a good story. Yeah.
It's a great story.
Oh,
You leave
but
that on slide
anyways,
two.
I started when I was 14, and shoot, I can remember that fight.
Who inspired you to?
I had sparring partners.
Now, who inspired you?
Mexico. Oh, inspired me. Oh, Roberto Duran.
Inspired.
Now I got a friend. His name is Ricky
They're-
Lannis,
they're
and Ricky's
really
brother
close.
fought Roberto Duran.
very
So
close.
that was
Who was that?
Rick Lannis. I think his brother's name was Jeff Lannis.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Oh, you know?
Yeah.
Because I think he's watching. I
don't
sent him
know
a
him, but
private
I-
message to make sure he was watching because he's always posting boxing stuff. He's a boxing guy, and a friend of mine. So Rick Lannis, there you go, buddy. The champ
Roberto
just
Duran.
recognized your brother and his partner, or as a fighter.
I was named after Roberto Duran.
Really? Mike
Little
Carbajal?
hands of
I don't see
stone.
Roberto
Little hands of
anything.
stone.
Manitas
Little
de
hands of
Piedra.
stone.
Oh, okay.
You know, manitas de piedra.
And how did that happen? What
Manitas de
year
piedra.
and where did that get coined phrase?
That started right when I turned pro. You know, well, Top Rank. Everybody was dealing with Duran at the time. When I came back after the Olympics and everything, I fought my first professional debut in Duran's card.
At
Under
Trump
card,
Plaza,
at
I
Trump
know you're
Plaza.
happy. Oh, and Donald wants us to.
That's why you know Trump wasn't racist. He gave the first Mexican boxing Olympian star his shot
Oh, he's
to become
racist.
the little hands of steel to the whole world. Dr. Gary. Another testimony of Trump doing some good.
Oh, I don't.
That's why you need a good news network on there to tell the truth, sir.
That's right. Well, that good news is coming, and thank you for slamming and scaring everybody who's listening. Yes. All right, right.
know.
Get the paddles. We got a down person. So go ahead, Michael. Tell us a little more of after the pros, or you start your pros. You went there. You fought all the way up. Was Chiquita your last fight, or
No,
The-
that was the first $1 million fight for junior flyweights. We were 108 pounds.
yeah?
I mean, nobody could make that type of money. They were making like what, $10,000.
Do they pay you by pound?
$20,000.
Is that why? 107, you get a $1,000,007. That's what we get.
They paid me by muscle.
Oh, okay. There it is. That's the warrior right there coming out hardcore.
That's the year he was pound for pound #1 in the world. The first ever flyweight to be pound for pound #1 in the
Wow.
world, right between Riddick
Congratulations.
and Chavez.
Now, as
She got it down.
because she's your publicist,
Yeah,
but your
right.
wife.
She got it down. She knows
But you
how to
have
do
to
it. I can tell the
respect
truth, but she
what
got
these
it down.
athletes do and what entertainers do, what everyone in the music industry does. You have to know.
And farmers.
Do you
As
have
a
have
We have to
publicist,
keep our
this is-
farmers going.
Do you have any
But this
family
is a good
members that-
segue. This is a good segue. Hold on, I want to hear something. I want to hear. Listen, carry on,
Go ahead.
madam.
Go ahead.
Please. Sorry
So-
for
Oh,
the
yeah.
No, go ahead and ask me.
introduction of the gentleman.
No, go ahead.
Yes.
So what do you want me to answer?
As a talent, I wanted to know, you being his publicist and his wife, how did that relationship begin? Was it first the publicist, or was it always knowing his wife and having to become the publicist?
No, I was modeling and doing TV, and I had an event for inner city kids because it's very important for me from my background to give back. So I handled everything for all of public housing, all the public housing sites, and Stopped Modeling was just focusing on empowering and impacting the lives of those that grew up in very, very compromising socioeconomic depressed neighborhoods. And Dr. Buss told me, the late Jerry Buss told me, don't forget Michael Carbal's in Phoenix. I said, oh, well, I don't know Michael. So we met, then I became, I was dating him, and then I realized that he had an incredulous career. I mean, legendary. And I just felt it was, I've worked with a lot of professional athletes. I've, worked with, Javon Curse. I've worked with Too Tall Jones, Jason Kidd, Eddie George, and I've handled, a plethora of their careers, and I felt that this was just an amazing story to come from, Watts type of environment, East LA. It's incredible. I mean, to think that he kept that razor sharp focus, was not influenced by the neighborhood. La Nueva is still, it's changing dramatically like Watts is changing. A lot of development. It's the hottest zip code right now, but it's still where the story all began, and I felt like, wow, what a story.
And
What a
this is-
story.
and what an eye for you to surround yourself out of all the talent you named to make your husband because of the story impacting your heart and you being a giver. Because God's going to ask us, what do we do in life that was other than for ourselves? So who could be selfless? So thank you for giving back.
Oh, you're
to help
welcome.
Discover the more,
Well, it's so
Michael's-
important because this can impact the lives of other young kids.
Absolutely.
It's so important, not just because he's, it's all lives matter. And the racism that's happening nowadays with all of African Americans, it is happening, and it has happened right here.
With Latino Americans.
Absolutely.
And with all of
With
all the
Caucasians.
Latinos, and,
I mean, it happens to
and I even
everybody.
wanna
And our-
say
and our heavy people.
Caucasians
Me,
have
I'm Caucasian.
discrimination.
Right?
Hey, we have discrimination.
But everybody
I'm white.
has a discrimination, and I think that's what
Absolutely.
makes us a nation of a family. And we've lost that connection of being a family tribe, right? We lost that connection of that family union, right? We forget that Esau, Jacob, and Ishmael were brothers. We look at each other as these individuals, these categories that have now created separation and division, and then we allow for the spirit of, let's just say, ignorance, right? Whatever you want to call it. Ignorance is you not being able to go look the man in the eye and say what you need to say without assuming and allowing for you to have this persona, this perception that is really not a reality of what that person is actually thinking of you. And a great friend of mine, Mr. D. Van Tassel, taught me that perception is not sometimes reality. Would you like to elaborate? sir?
True.
Not really. He said it so well. Okay. Just that sometimes what we perceive to be correct isn't necessarily the way it is. And it all goes back to life experiences, where we view things, what we've been taught, what we share, what we give. And the most important thing of all is to make sure we have an attitude of helping.
Yes, an attitude of gratitude as well.
I see a run for mayor in your future. We got to get him a little bit. We're getting so into the vibe, and this is what I love. This is bringing people together. This type of show. Look at this.
That's Bonita back there.
Huh?
Hi, Miss
Live
Bonita.
Hold on, see, watch.
Hello, Miss Bonita. There she is. What's going on with you back there? How you doing?
Well, really, it's all about love.
It is.
If you think about it, what's the first word that you think about when you wake up?
Gratitude and love.
How much pain I'm in.
That's a phrase, Jerry.
I haven't heard a pop like that.
That's a
No,
phrase,
it's
Jerry.
funny
That
because
is a
my
phrase.
last name is Love, and my first name is Darius. And I always say, people say, what's your name? I say, I'm Darius Love. I'm here to Darius with love. And if you think about it, right, Christ says in Matthew 5:17, he says, I did not come here to do away with the laws nor the prophets, but to fulfill them. And the laws and the commandments boil down, God's love language is love. Because if you love God with all your heart, then that means you must love your neighbor as you love yourself. Yes. And if you love your neighbor as you love yourself, would you lie? Would you steal? Would you kill? Would you commit adultery? Would you bear false witness? And the most important, which he said, remember. He said, remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. And that's not a Jewish thing. That's not a black thing. That's not a white thing. That's not a Jew or Gentile thing. That is a law ordained by our Creator. And the moment that you align with the divine and remove the perception and move into purpose, then you can live in a fulfillment. You can live in a place where Michael continues to inspire, continues to strive in something he loves. How many people can say that they made history and impacted others' lives from doing truly what they love?
Thank you. Thank you. Well,
You're a
you know,
blessed
that's
man.
That's
Yeah.
all we got to do. We all have to do it. And when somebody wants to do it, and you know, with love, you have everything, man. You have everything. I don't care what it is. You can be so calm and be Just
Yeah.
love and just listen to everyone,
Well, yeah, that's
and,
it.
And that's it.
But I'd like to show a clip of how much he loved that boxing ring right now. Okay, because I'm going to show he's loved between 9 and 5, but when the bell rings at 7:30, he goes Warrior.
Now you get me all confused.
No.
That's a lot of love.
Well, I'm just trying to give you a plug.
This is Michael, but this is the little hands of steel.
That's right. Can we play that clip, Jack? I had it queued up. There it is. The man. Here's the fight.
Well, that's Chiquita 1. That's the first one.
Mike's in the white trunks.
Yes.
Ooh, nice. Nice.
Oh,
I got him.
look at that.
And he becomes the
There
unified.
it is.
Down he goes.
And he's done.
That's
He unified the
that's the
title.
warrior right there. Look at that. That's what he's saying. I am the warrior. I am. I own it.
No, I was saying, I told
He,
you. When
yeah.
they raised me up,
Yeah.
I go, I told you.
He has short, vicious left hooks. Yeah.
I know you're jumping around. Now wait. Now you gotta. What I opened with is how impressed I was when I saw a clip that these two fighters years later got together. So if we could run that clip. It's a very short clip.
Is it at one
but
of the Hall of
I have
Fame?
to show you what he's talking about, this love and that he brings. You see the other I called it the reunion. There it is up on the screen.
They kissed and made up.
We see him all the time.
He's cool.
So look at that. There's the two guys.
That's so
Look at that. You see them years later, and they're just, they went from warriors to grandpas and fathers, and the love right there is just amazing. You see how happy they are?
That's great sportsmanship.
That's great. That's what I was telling them. It's great sportsmanship. They got together. That was awesome.
Thank you.
All right, so we got to I got to make sure I get everybody in. Why don't we're going to go to Mr. Van Tassel, make sure that we get this farming in, because we've talked so much about love. He's going to feed us now, right? That's what he's going to do. He is the ultimate farmer, and after spending a couple hours with him last night, some of the most amazing things that he was able to show, just the technology, how farming has grown from just throwing seeds into the ground. I mean, from his tractors working on GPS. He's drawing designs. He said, "Oh, I slipped. I was drinking coffee. I went like this, and now his tractor's going off to one way." No, I wouldn't give you. I'm not doing that. It was just totally me being funny. But it was like perfectly planted. But I think you're going to do the best job of explaining what you do, because after talking to you, it was fascinating. You were showing us pictures of 7 days, 14, 21, how fast he is growing food compared to the other people, and how many farmers have turned to him as the holy grail of farming.
And one of the wonderful things is that all that we did was organic. None of it was chemicals. Part of a farming operation in Oregon, Y Produce and 4 farms, and they're all natural, 6,000 acres. And they produce lots of the products that go to the Walmarts and Costco and Winco, and they provide enough onions for 45 million people, all natural. And so, but growing up, I was blessed to be able to farm with my dad from the time I was 8 years old. Taught me how to be a man. I took 2 weeks off one summer to learn to swim. Other than that, I worked, okay? And but he taught me everything. In 1967, he was Farmer of the Year for the United States. Him and 2 other farmers for creating the exporting market to shipping alfalfa hay to the dairy industry in Japan. And had the opportunity to travel with him and to learn international business and how to be honorable and trustworthy and reliable and build those type of relationships. And he taught me a few little things in our home that we say. You can never starve a nickel out of a plant. Okay, meaning that you can't cut anything short and get them to grow right. So my philosophy is this: when is the right time for you to do the right thing for your family?
Now.
And it's now. And that's the way we treat our plants. So like when the plants need it, they're just like our children. There's going to be a cold day, we need to feed them a certain way. We need to take care of them. And any plant that has the intellect, like a hemp plant, okay, to be able to transfer the nutrients from one part of the plant to the other part of the plant, that where it needs it, deserves our special attention and recognition. And so we feed the plant so that it never wants, that it always has whatever it wants to take up and use. So it's the solar efficiency. We feed it so that the ultimate goal of a plant is to reproduce itself, seed to propagate next year. And so we keep the moisture, the live moisture in the ground, and we don't overwater it, we don't underwater it. We always feed it sometimes once, twice a day, foliar feed it, and through a spray. And all these, this fertilizer, the nutrients that we give is through are all organic, all natural.
So what you're saying is
So-
you basically feed a plant like a human?
Exactly. You have a respiratory system, you have a digestive system, and you have a culinary system. So it's just all the same as how we eat, consume. We want it to be strong, active, so you can withstand the elements, and so you don't want to cut any cycle short, because when you cut it short, then it wants to jump to that next cycle that it's supposed to. So by keeping the digestive system and solar efficiency at its maximum, the plant is able to produce what it genetically was made to do. And that is to help us consume it, use it for better health and better lives.
Well, one thing that you guys got to learn that haven't had the opportunity to speak to him is when you say, well, how big is your farm, right? People go, well, I got a couple acres, right? Not Tinkerbell here. Tinkerbell owns he's peninsulas of entire states. Not only Oregon,
Yep.
Alaska. You dipped into where else? I mean,
I've done business in 22 foreign countries. I used to live in China up to 5 to 6 months out of the year. And we've owned property from Nome, Alaska, American Creek, to
Weezer.
southern Utah, Weiser, Idaho. Okay, that's where the National Old Time Festival is. And
but how many
have-
acres? Like, tell them
Okay,
how
okay.
many acres, because
well,
that's
in Idaho we had 19 square miles, and that's pretty good size. 640 acres to a square mile. So little. About maybe just a small city.
I believe you said as Idaho kind of curves up,
Yeah.
he owns that entire area.
Yeah,
That's to give you an idea how big it is. He owns a quarter of the state.
So and then over in Oregon,
Looking good over
with
there.
the farmers I work with, they farm 4 to 6,000 acres there of everything from sweet potatoes, sugar beets, corn, wheat, onions, asparagus, and mint.
And now we want to say a
And
very
hemp.
special hello to the Craig's family.
Yeah.
The beautiful family. Beautiful
The
family.
large family corporation. They have 19 family members. They started out in 1954.
Wait, they have 19. Is this from one woman?
No.
Okay, I was going to say.
No.
Wow.
No, they have 19 family members.
Okay,
They
that's-
actually probably have 50 or 60.
I was going to say that's a busy woman. She wasn't farming.
No.
She was hatching.
So they, but 1954, with the grandfather, they started off with one tractor and a desire to become a farming operation, and they've grown into this. So dreams do come true. Some of the things that we're set out to do is to help the initiative for the new young farmers, especially minority farmers, to be able to have the capital resources and things like that and the programs to be able to make it, because it's pretty hard to do that, and we need new blood all the time into the industry. So
Well, I think one of the biggest challenges that you guys are facing is that China is coming in, buying up 60% of the farms. I mean, pretty soon we're not going to have a
Not anymore,
USDA.
Dr.
Very
Jerry.
interesting.
What's it?
Not anymore, thanks to James Ward here.
I know. Well, I'm leading into it. I'm giving you a little stepladder here.
Craig told me that 3 times a month he gets calls from large corporations wanting to buy their operation and turn around and lease it back to him. Okay? And it's very tempting for lots of farmers to do that. But they fight it off, and they expand 20% a year is what their growth rate is, because they are planning for the next generation and the next generation to take up the mantle and to help feed. My family has been involved in feeding America before the Pilgrims got here. The first Van Tassel was a fur trader. Came over, a Dutch fur trader, and started feeding America, and been doing it ever since.
Actually, wasn't Sleepy Hollow?
Oh, okay. Van Tassel, last name, if you recognize it, okay. Washington Irving lived with my ancestors in Tarrytown, New York, and the story that he wrote about the legend of Sleepy Hollow, Katrina Van Tassel, Squire Van Tassel, were my ancestors that he used as characters in that story. And that's our one claim to fame.
Nice.
I think the food is your claim to fame. Some fake story is
So
a Hollywood
on that
myth.
subject, on the growing the hemp, because
Yeah.
that's what we're specializing in. And
Now a lot of marijuana people are now tuning in very intently.
lesser flow.
Shout out Weed Talk.
That's right.
Or it's one.
We think outside the box, okay? We don't do things exactly like everybody else does. So when they say to plant 1,000, 1,500 plants per acre, I've done as much as 49,500 plants per acre. And in 106 days, I produced 10,100 pounds of biomass with double-digit CBD content. And
What does that mean in layman terms, Mr. Bentas?
that's a lot of CBD oil. Okay. Okay. So that makes it possible for you to compete. So like when things are, the infrastructure of the industry is catching up, and this is the challenge, is that when you have CBD oil, when it gets to the marketplace, that people are actually paying over $2,400 per ounce for it. When you stop and think that that's almost double the price of gold, something is out of whack. And it is where the refining of the industry has not caught up with the demand. And so we have this bottleneck. And so this is why it's important that we're able to keep the profitability in. And so developing this program, we can produce biomass for the public and for processing for 32 cents a pound under this program. And that brings the profit back into the market.
Mr. Van Tassel, when you say program, allude to why you came out all the way from the farm to come on the network to create this program as a curriculum and potentially a show here on the Ace Media TV network.
One was to get out of the desk, really. Okay.
No smell of manure here.
So, yeah, we have plenty of that too. Because cow shit is green and it grows.
Okay.
So anyway, we wanted. I have a program that we set up that over years and years. I have probably 27 different journals that I've kept over on the characteristics of the hemp plant. And there's different things that it does that lets you know, so you can speak hempanese, so that you can know what it needs and all the time. And if you don't, and if you'll listen to it, it'll tell you. And so, with this program, we're able to help other farmers to turn something that the cost per acre. I think they said the average cost per acre for an acre of hemp, in 2019 was about 15 to 17,000 per acre. We can get that cost down to $4,500.
And so, reason why we had the privilege of working with Mr. Van Tassel, myself, he had founded InstaFoods International, and when we, as a co-founder of Kids Feeding the World, which was our marketing arm, we challenged just 1 million children to donate 50 cents a month, $6 a year. We could feed 1 million people a day through different feeding organizations.
And who in America can't come up with 50 cents to give?
And
A
so,
homeless person can find 50 pennies. You
Yeah.
know? So there's no excuse. if
Well, you
we have
know,
opportunities.
because the Slurpee is 79 cents and
Yes,
they're
sir.
always holding the cup.
which is why us as minority farmers, developers, working with Mr. Van Tassel, feeding 2.5 million people during Hurricane Katrina through the Red Cross, InstaFoods International was very pivotal in my life because it taught me farming and prepared me for, kind of like Joseph, seeing the famine of what's to come with Pharaoh. The trumpets will blow. Trump being a person that came back and restored economy and restored our economy through economics, I saw that the only thing that could sustain our economy was the green rush. And you mentioned why the margins and why there's a bottleneck and why it's important that we edutain the world and give them an opportunity to join the green rush. This is going to bring back the American culture. And with us working directly with launching Weed Stock and Weed Talk, James and myself, we decided to partner with him using hemp as development materials. We're able to do something with our bottom-up economics, which is we're able to cover 15 to 20% of gap funding that usually people aren't able to qualify for homes. are not able to qualify because usually your loans are typically LTV are anywhere from 85% to 90 at its highest. And so you see typically a lot of people aren't able to access and buy and purchase lands. So through the partnership of Mr. Van Tassel and Living Transform and Living Possibilities from a real estate developing standpoint, we can go in and create a franchising model for the farmers.
See, that's beautiful.
Yes.
Right there. That's everybody working together.
Love it.
So we're doing this.
Unity.
When a guy
We
from
call
Idaho
that
and Oregon can
weed
get together with
stock.
somebody out of
Weed stock.
Watts.
And Weed Stock is
And
our
do things together.
spin-off. Weed Stock is our spin-off of us having our Weed Stock be a stock market, a marketplace, but also it's also a place for us to bring all the consumers, whether it be customers, whether it be farmers, whether it be vendors, whether it be consumers. They come into our database backed by a member subscription. We give you a card that allows you to purchase, and through those merchant fees that are acquired, instead of us becoming $1 billion Visa or MasterCard, we in exchange create an algorithm where those merchant fees goes back into buying the different brands that are in our market space, right, which will own a piece of the market share, which is what we call Weed Stock. So when you take all these farmers, you take all these consumers, you take all these brands, and you put them in one big database, and you give that database a membership card, those merchant fees are able to go back and buy ICO's initial coin offerings. We back it by a coin, which is backed by the crop that's grown on the land, but the best farmer and family with the best fertilizer and program to do such. We would like permission to document this also.
Oh, absolutely. And you know what? I'm willing to do anything for farmers.
Yeah.
They are the backbone to our country. They have been here the longest. They started this country because without food, nobody's going to stick around, right? And if no food, no animals. So they are the backbone, and whatever this show, as well as our network and our broadcast and our platform, I will give you guys podcast ability. We will stream you out. I'll put you in 195 countries for sure.
That'd be much
Second, I could probably talk to some of the people at the UN that I'm associated with, and we could see if we could get some. Let's just call it country help. And I say not one country, all of them. Like they'll all chip in. That way, the membership card. The UN is very excited with crypto, so that's going to be a big thing that it's backed by the crop itself, because it doesn't have to be here to be in crypto. So if he takes a farm, works with other countries, I just see it as we're going on the road as doing podcasts or talk shows from these things, but bringing it back to a channel where if you want to learn more about it, there's going to be farmers that want to learn. They want to learn what you have.
And that road trip will be us going to the farm, starting with James Development. He has the original 1,200 acres in Colorado. He has another working with, big shout out, Oklahoma's Best. Oklahoma has one of the biggest explosions in actually the cannabis industry. It's not Colorado, it's not California, it's Oklahoma. And so with us being able to have these arcs, we call, there's a 1,600 development in Oklahoma that we're doing.
Okay.
There's a 1,200 acre development in Colorado we're doing. There's a 600 acre in Atlanta. Obviously, you heard with Mr. Van Tassel in Oregon, and we're going to go on a tour.
What's the closest one?
The closest one here is 138 acres in Arizona that we would like to
That's the one we're going to.
Yeah.
Apparently tomorrow. I feel the kick under the table. Yes, we are going tomorrow. I just have to clear it with the
We're going
wife.
to take a look at it and see what we need to do to get it into shape.
That's right. But see, when you start saying that we're going to take this on the road and we're going to basically a giant cannabis field, I think we're going to have followers. I mean, behind the RV.
Well, that's why we have Weed Talk, which is our version of TED Talk, which is us being able to create a panel of all of the biggest brands that we just came from Los Angeles on 420. We had, big shout out, Steve Lobel, co-founder in Cookies. He also just launched Weed Working. He's the manager who discovered Run DMC, co-discovered, helped manage. He discovered the Bone Thugs in Harmony, a very famous group. He also helped discover Nipsey Hussle, which is the second brand that we had on the panel, Marathon. Archie won. He was the developer of the original logo Marathon, and he created the Strand Marathon, which is Nipsey Hussle's cannabis brand, is doing very well. And on the panel we had the actual lawyer, the legal representative of Weed Maps, who wrote the PPM for Weed Maps. His name is Marlon. Big shout out Marlon. And last but not least, we had also James Ward and myself as founders of Weed Talk and Weed Stock, and we were at Stonerville, which is the Coachella of 420.
Stonerville, yeah.
And so, last but not least,
We're gonna put that right next to the 9th Street Gym. You know?
last but not least,
Hey, man, this
Yeah,
is
at
great.
Stonerville, you'll see the content done by Johnny Boy, but Shaggy, a big special. I want to say the best for last. Riz, who owns the first 2006, he was the first black and minority to own 100% of his dispensary license across the street from the actual Staples Center, and him and Mr. Van Tassel are partnering with his cultivation and distribution license, because once the product is cultivated and finalized, he can distribute it. And it's right across from the Staples Center. So he has all of the celebrities and A-listers from you name it that are in the cannabis space have exclusive brands in his product. And when we did this panel, those brands were in a like set swap meet setting while the music artist performed, while there was a panel of weed talk, and the only guest that didn't make it to the panel in time was D. Van Tassel.
But he's right across from the Staples Center. Okay.
Okay.
But the great news is that Stonerville has now been asked to come on tour. Netflix wants to buy the panel. We want to sell to Ace Media and partner and ask you to be a part of the board and help oversee this, because it embodies crypto, it embodies the farmers, it embodies all of the lifestyle and culture in the Green Rush. Who would be a better candidates to be able to help the communities come together economically, come together in a consciousness of love, come together in health and wealth to help athletes and help our families and our communities and our ailments, our mental, our physical, that are hurting. And I want to give a big shout out to our company. We just left our hemp manufacturing plant. If you don't mind, sir.
Yeah, of course.
Hopefully this will be
We all
one of
know
our
Tom.
commercials. Tom Villa is another Italian stallion, not from Chicago, but from Detroit, neighboring city, who is a hemp manufacturer. Hemp 113, our plant, Earth Co. We just took Mr. Van Tassel there, and we were able to.
Here, give me one of those.
Yes, sir. We were able to have this final product.
I want to get Jack. Can we get a close up? We got to give Tom. Tom's one of our friends. Here, I gotta try and
we would
hold
like
it
to give
perfect.
the champ. We brought this
There we
for
go.
the champ.
So
for the
cute.
mental focus.
We gotta get the champ.
And we would like the champ
What's
Ask
this?
him to
to
ask.
brand
Thank you,
endorse
Michael.
this.
King Chronic.
Yeah, well,
So if you're hungry and following us in the RV tomorrow,
They taste good.
yeah.
And
Oh,
you
you
can
have
now-
one?
Oh, yeah.
And you now can pick these up in Circle K's
Oh, yeah?
exclusively starting in Arizona, because this is the home of the manufacturing plant and the home of the founder and CEO. And we want it to be the first commercial that we run on Ace. Tom gave us permission to come do a product placement, but we want to start running commercials with a subscription base.
I've already beat him. I've been doing this. I've been doing this. Okay, so Tom, call me.
I think Johnny Boy had something.
Oh, wait.
Well, we're actually going
Okay,
to
go
the-
ahead.
To the champ, I wanted
I want-
Darius to ask. We,
Laura.
Do you have a good, you know that Michael and Be Real are first cousins? You know they're real tight, they're cousins. So Be Real's got Michael on the, everything just going blasting, like my cousin, blah, blah,
which is
blah,
huge.
blah. Yeah,
He
it's
has B-Real
huge.
TV.
So you'll have
He
to
has a-
look at Michael's social media, because
Wow.
he's on, like
being
every
nice
day
right
he
now.
calls
You know,
me.
Michael's throwing out some punches here. That we
I'm
didn't-
sorry,
And
but
now I
it's,
don't know how to go.
but it's my job
if
to
you guys
tell
know
you
B-Real,
that,
they
because
should
there's
know
a
it.
good connection.
Well, thank you so much.
I'm
And-
sorry
and-
for
and
interjecting,
No,
but,
Sorry is for sorry people. You'll never be a sorry person.
no, I'm always gonna come out.
Don't say sorry to that.
The power of the tongue.
like
In the
that.
beginning, the
Exactly.
word is the way, and the way is the word, and the word is God.
Can't put I
We
am
didn't
in
try
front
to
of
wake up this morning. There's no try. There's no maybes. Either you do or you don't. And thank you. Thank you sincerely for bringing this out. And thank you, Johnny Boy, for helping bring this to this point, which is the perfect reason for why we wanted to bring this product here, not to just do product placement and be cheesy and sell. We wanted to offer an opportunity for the champ to be able to create revenue and make a difference, because there's a lot of mental and there's a lot of physical brain trauma that goes into boxing and being a warrior. And this product, OTC Focus, it is an alternative for Adderall and Ritalin. And it helps
good.
with brain focus, and it helps with diabetes 2 control. We can't say it makes any healing or cures, but I can say it helps. I've seen personal testimonies, and we would like you as an ambassador and come aboard with Rosario Dawson, who this is her company.
Is that a cousin? Let's get it clear. Can we do this over there?
Wait,
Is that a
they're
cousin?
not cousins,
Okay, but they're long distance
Already
friends.
Latino endorsed endorsed by the 12 tribes, as you know.
That's awesome.
We're all a community of love, and this is why I think you would be a perfect face and a person to join Rosario we're already set up to go into the South American market, and also Neymar represented in China.
That, you
He's
know
a
what?
friend.
That would be perfect because I have TBI.
We're suffering, we're dealing with,
I-
we just got back from the
That's
neurologist.
to be intelligent.
But to have this kind of a career, of course.
He's reverse engineered. My God.
I'm just messing around. man.
No, that's
Like,
awesome.
So yeah, so be
So-
real. Talk to us about that. Go ahead. And Dr. Jerry, yes, sir.
No, I was just going to say, you have been hyping, everybody and giving plugs. I would like to give you a plug. I mean, first of all, I guess you guys don't know that he is, one of the UN's top 40 under 40 Black
course.
Americans, and he is won that distinguished award. He should be commended because that is it's just an amazing feat. And as you guys see, I mean, the goodness in this man's heart and the people that are around him who I have had the opportunity to meet because of him, and then the introductions that I've met, through this. He is a truly a wonderful guy. We do have like a little clip. He doesn't know I put this together, but I didn't. It was so long that I just made it short. I just took a couple of scenes, but he's been such a great person, a friend of mine for at least 12 years. We've done plenty of events, and every time I call him, he's always so happy to hear, as I am with him when he calls. He doesn't put me to voicemail unless it's after about 10:30 because he's an actor. He has to get his beauty sleep. I know Mr. Van Tassel last night was just holding on at about 9 o'clock because he's a farmer, and he's just like, hello, I apologize. I'm just really tired. You're like this, and I'm like, just go to bed. I'm going to talk to James and Johnny, and all of a sudden we're making food, and well, then I got boosted up, and I couldn't leave because they're telling stories. I'm telling stories, and the popcorn, huh?
It's my fault. I kept him out.
I know I'm Italian, so he starts throwing food on the grill. I'm like, whoa, what are you doing over there?
Hey, I'm all Raffinelli.
Yeah. So, but we have a clip. If you could put that on, Jack, just so we can
Jack.
see it.
Wow. That's old school.
Well, it doesn't usually freeze.
That's good. He's got that CBS.
That's it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Look at that.
Oh,
Wow.
This is my own blood, right? Because it's starting to drip in my mouth.
Well, you can't hear it, but he is talking. The people can hear it. But if I run the speakers, we'll get all sorts of sound in here. But
Yeah. And I want a threesome with Beyonce and Scarlett Johansson. Drop the cup and get your rat ass in the club. Drop the cup.
he even sang with John, or played with John Legend, right?
That's the John Legend, Ordinary People.
Oh, and
No one ever realized.
Yeah.
That video probably has over 1 billion, about maybe 5 billion views.
There he is.
wow.
D Love in the house. One of our celebrity actors. And it's just an honor that he's my friend. And as you guys have come in with him, you are just my friends, period, just because he's got such a good vibe. Obviously, the champ and Mr. Van Tassel here. We got our food. We got our cannabis. We got the champ. I don't know. I'm going to try and bring in a little television. And we got girls, right? We got girls. We got models, right? This is really becoming I think a weekly thing that we got to bring you guys back on. But I appreciate you, Darius, for everything that you have done. Everything is always with good intent, right? Every introduction to every follow up, he's always been there. And I got to get to my man James here because he's been patiently waiting. I want to make sure that everybody gets their fair time. And of course, we're getting my little buddy over there, Johnny boy. He's going to be talking. So James, why don't you share a little of what you're doing, because you've seen the vibe that we've all put together. You're so mixed in it from both sides of the guys on either side of you. Just add what you do best, and that's just talk.
Gotcha.
I love it.
Well, thank you for having us. So basically, my name is James Ward, and I've been I founded a company, or two companies, called Living Transformed and Living Possibilities. Darius Love is now full-time partner.
Nice. There you go. You got good stuff with you.
So basically, we're based out of Los Angeles in Southern California, and Living Transformed, what we do in the community, it lives within the name as well as in possibilities. So we believe in not change, because when you change something, the old remnants is still there, but similar to a caterpillar, it still remembers it was a caterpillar when it transforms to a butterfly. But you kind of see what we're trying to convey. So in order to live in transformation, you have to be open to the possibilities. And a lot of people within our demographic back home and a lot of other ones, they're not open to the possibilities because they don't think they have an opportunity. So back when we founded the corporations in 2018, basically that's the day all of my brands and companies became a socio equity and currency type of a company, like you alluded to earlier. And from there, that's where we're at now, and just wanting to help and give back, which I think is a central theme throughout this talk. And that's where I got now, and I transformed into where I'm at now with Mr. Love, also bringing me into the faith, of having a more intimate relationship with the man upstairs. And so, what I like to do I think basically is what our company's pillars are, which it's built on the foundation of real estate. But what we inspire to do is in innovation, and we like to touch on eco-sustainability and technology. So if we're wandering outside of that, and obviously real estate, which is everything, then we're outside of our goals. So.
Well, just so you guys get an understanding, this guy is working with the mayor of Inglewood, right? Which is pretty much becoming the new Hollywood, right? Yeah. I'm cleared to say that. Yes, I got it. Okay, I got the extra kick. Yes, thank you. But he also has he got a $20 million building he put up. He's now making homes. He's tearing down buildings, putting up homes. So that people have a place to live, and he's also helping finance them. Mm-hmm. So that when you hear the word that he's giving back, he truly is giving back. And I can speak from experience, because last night he kept saying, "Do you want me to open popcorn? Would you like a hamburger? Would you like this?" He was so giving. I just kept saying yes. And then he realized I ate most of his popcorn, most of his hamburger, and his dinner. Then he's like, "You got to go." Yeah. I'm almost out of food. I'm just kidding, James. You were wonderful last night. So,
Dr. Jerry,
yes,
the
sir.
homes are built out of hemp.
The homes are built
and
out of
a
hemp.
special proprietary material that is stronger than granite,
Mm-hmm.
and it's hurricane and fireproof, which is what allowed him to partner with not just the Inglewood mayor, where the home of the LAX and the Rams and the casino, which every developer in the world is begging to get in, but the mayor chose him specifically, where he's got a fund with. He's raising a $300 million fund for Smart City, Smart Academy, where children will be able to go learn not just the sports from an athletic standpoint, but they'll learn sports medicine, they'll learn sports agency, the sports business, and they'll also learn what it is to become a smart city by making Inglewood the Smart City, Smart Academy. He has also Ron Brown, who is over the Players Association. They're looking to partner with him with the funds to help come back to the communities. Every player has a summer camp or some sort of curriculum or a program. Well, now they'll be able to go to the Sports Academy, Smart City Sports Academy right across the street, Smart City Smart Academy right across the street in Inglewood, California, of the Forum, as well as the SoFi, where the future of the Olympics will be. And the children 24/7, 365 will be mentored and tutored from every athlete on their curriculum 24/7 versus just that summertime. So if Jordan wanted to do his camp at the Smart City,
we get the champ, maybe?
Yes.
Come on down.
I was just going to say.
See, that's another RV trip and another road show, right?
And then the technology side is the esports and making it to where these children can go to college for playing video games, but now teach them coding, but also teach them how to employ. Shout out Ubiquia. It's our taking street poles and turning them into data receivers where they give us information on traffic. They give us information to help us with Smart City. Shout out GGN, Global Good News Network, to help deploy the Moses device for Smart City. And shout out ACE Media Network, which will broadcast through the ACE interface, where we can have, similar to the Brady Bunch, all of the sports academies. The goal with GGN is to give every student in a scholastic school an email that connects them as one body through that interface of ACE. So they can come on and they can be able to broadcast, and they can TMZ the broadcast. They can tell us the content they want by uploading good news testimonies, by uploading the things that they want to impact in their living, transform, living possibility community.
Which is all amazing, and I'm in. I'm always in when my biggest thing is I like helping children, right? I mean, they're the future. They're being brought up.
That's it.
We all gain experience through our years,
All love, right
and
there.
you start
That's all
to
love.
you start
That's
to
it.
sometimes, right? You get to a certain age and you say, man, I'm starting to sound like my parents. You know what I'm saying? Like, you shouldn't do that. Don't stick your finger in the outlet. Well, go ahead and see what happens. And now you got to learn yourself, right?
Yeah. Well, I would say before we power all of America with internet, we have to make sure we address some of those educational issues that we.
Well, that's part of
we
it,
haven't
yeah.
been striking the deals yet with.
Well,
every
I
election.
think Google and some of these places have kind of put a high thing on tech, but their tech.
Yeah.
There are kids out there that can develop so many incredible things, but they're like showing it to Google.
Yeah.
I think we should make more like you guys were doing a TED Talks. I think we should do like a kid talk.
Yeah.
That way they-
on the Global Good News
we,
Network.
right,
have
we
the
showcase
Kids News
these
Network.
kids, then we
There you
reverse
go.
the Shark Tank
Yeah.
kind of
Yes.
thing where we say, okay, investors, you're
Yeah.
online, and then
Yeah,
we'll just
that-
show the digital bottom, like we got 2 from South Korea, we got this, now we're an auctioneer,
Yeah.
right?
That's brilliant right there.
What do you think?
Oh, yeah.
That's
All right,
why
we
we're
got-
here talking to the doctor.
Yes.
It's just what the doctor ordered.
I did.
Yes.
Everyone's got a prescription, and it's of his food
And guess
because
what?
it's healthy.
Then we go to the doctor's show and get credibility back in everything we're doing.
That's right. See, we've completed the circle, except we haven't got Johnny in
I'm
there.
gonna be filming that. What do you
I know, but we got to get John. John, tell us a little bit. You're always got a camera in your hand. I saw you
always
cooking
have a camera.
food with you were balancing it on your shoulder, and
I
you're
was
like,
doing
look
a
at
vlog.
this, like
I was
a
vlogging it. I was like, hey, you guys want to see? I'm vegan. I'm alkaline, so I cook a lot of my food. I don't know if you were. I heard somebody saying that.
Vegetarian.
Vegetarian.
You know,
Getting close.
vegan burger last night.
Oh, awesome.
No, veggie burgers.
And you were complaining about all the spices, and it was like,
I did complain.
You know, I like to see
great cook, great everything, great friend.
photography and cinematography. That's just one of the many things I do. I'm an LA City certified welder. People identify with the term unicorn just because I'm a man of many trades. I built a brand called All Trades Los Angeles, All Trades International. And it's kind of to highlight other individuals with that same mentality. It's like people are shunned for being a jack of all trades, and I think that puts people in a box. So I wanted to go against that and really embody that. So even today, even when I met Mr. Jerry, I didn't introduce myself as a photographer or cinematographer. We talked about crypto.
No, he just came up and hugged me and said, "How are you?" And I was like, "I love this guy, man. As long as he can get his arms all the way around me, you know."
Yeah, you know.
That's what it's all about. It's love.
It's exactly. It's
Right.
all about love. I made a transition to being in front of the camera, and Dr. Jerry was saying he likes to help people, and this is a huge opportunity to be in front of the camera. 2020, I got my first legitimate gig being in front of the camera, and it was with Adobe. So this just comes full circle to love. I've been doing my best to attack doing something for love and with photography and cinematography, and I made a transition to being in front of the camera. And the project that I did with Adobe was their love project. So if you go on Adobe right now, creative.
You got featured as the love product? A project?
Love project, yes. John
That is very cool.
Adobe,
That means you're really good because Adobe.
Photoshop, yeah, exactly.
I'm still applying. I'm leaving voicemails like, "Hey, look at my work." You're in there.
We're in there. We are in there. We'll be in there.
Oh, I love that.
That's for a love
See,
project.
again, it's sharing. These guys are great.
It's
It's just round love right here. We've completed the circle of love,
Exactly.
There it is.
right? You got to be happy, Chad. You've met some good people here today, huh? These people are going to help you. We're going to come all down to your boxing. We'll have to
And
take
you're
the
going to be
RV.
sparring.
Do that.
Oh yeah, we're gonna film that. I'll be out of breath in like 30 seconds with this guy.
Don't worry, we'll
I'll
get
be
him.
like water.
Don't worry, we'll get him.
We'll get you
We'll get him.
I'm gonna be
That's
hugging
funny.
him like just to
some
breathe.
foods, get you some Fantastic
Oh, there we
Trinity
go. He's gonna
water.
take
There
get
you
some
go. I
Top
like that.
Focus.
Yes, we got.
Champ. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. Jump
Champ, I
in.
was gonna ask you, what part of Mexico are you from?
My
Okay, John.
family is from Hermosillo.
Hermosillo. My mom's from Guanajuato in Yirida.
Oh, yeah,
She's
you're way
born
down
there.
there. You're way down there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
the connections, the love, everything's still certain.
We're all
Thank you
connected.
to
man.
Jerry for the H for putting it together.
Thank you guys.
The captain of the ship.
It's more important to have you guys here because there is no show without people and people talking. And if more people could watch shows like this, how we just all got along within, I'd say 5 minutes. Some people knew each other, some people didn't. But at the end, there's going to be a lot of numbers exchanged. There's going to be a lot of events, and if Champ puts on a big fight here, we're kind of looking into the fight. You're going to be invited, and I think he'll be happy to see you, as I will. And I think everybody here, we make this happen. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Live talk.
And if we drive this right, and put up sponsorship towards this fight or towards this, sharing the kind of the billboard space, if you will, right? We could do a fight. Then we take the fight with all that media coverage and say, these are the people. So that when we go over to this event, so we can kind of schedule them back to back to back. Since you're not fighting, we don't have to wait for you to recover. You can be up there tomorrow morning ready to go. And we could drive into LA, and then we can go to the
to the academy.
The academy.
Academy, Sports Academy.
Sports.
Yeah.
Is that the name of it?
Smart City.
Smart City.
Smart City, Smart Academy.
Okay.
Say that 4 times fast.
Smart cities.
Smart
Smart Academy.
Academy, Smart
City.
City.
Yeah, I got it. Okay.
Smart
But we could go
Academy,
over
Smart
there.
City.
Then you got the Champ. We got Mr. Van Tassel. We're going to have food. We could probably throw some away. Throw it out to people, give it to people, the homeless, the needy, right? Show that we're all doing it together, man. People will watch it and follow. And whatever we work on after that shall be just kind of a big event.
It's whatever collective.
It's called the Global Good News Network.
That's
Global
right.
Good News Network.
Coming right here. I already put the icon up. It's already
One of
there.
the things you can do with the technology that we have in agriculture is that we can take care of the homeless that are less fortunate in our communities, and you can grow 400 to 600 pounds of vegetables in a 4 foot by 4 foot area if you want to.
Great.
Oh.
That's part of the curriculum.
Can you move
which is
that
part of the
camera?
technology.
Because it's blocking the camera.
Yes. We're gonna move this
There
back
you
out
go.
of the way.
There
And
you
this
go.
is
Thank you.
blocking your shine.
Well, you got two
We
cameras.
can't hear you. We need
But I need to show everybody,
Yeah.
right? I got to give everybody a little camera time. But it's just such an honor to have everyone here. I want to thank everybody for coming. Is there any last minute requests? Let's give some websites out.
I'm good.
You good?
Whatevercollective.com.
Okay, say it.
I want to for whatevercollective.com. I just want to say that because the entity that my newest thing, so I went from All Trades Los Angeles to TED's before TED Talk, which was the executive decisions, and after that I'm working on Whatever Collective, which is I feel like it's a Los. I don't feel like it is a Los Angelino mentality mindset. We're all doing whatever it takes, but really, it's a love mindset. It's do whatever you love, and you're like, hey, how do you go to the Olympics? You need to be dialed in with a particular amount of discipline and do whatever you love. Mr. Van Tassel is still doing what he loves. James is doing what he loves. Mr. Love is doing what he loves. Everybody's doing what they love. And it's just whatever we love. Like you can literally do.
I love sitting in between two beautiful women. Is what I love.
You're doing whatever you love right now.
That's right. I love doing television.
We all can say we can all actually do whatever you want to do. You can literally do whatever you want to do as long as you're coming from a place with love and you have a certain amount of discipline. Whatever you want in life, you can actually have. You can achieve. With a particular mindset, with a whatever mentality, you can achieve whatever.
He's got to run for
Anyone ever
Congress.
steal
Run for Congress.
Don't let anyone stop you from your
Yeah, never steal. Yeah, I go with him. Never let anyone steal your dream.
No, never.
That's
Never.
a dream is all you have.
Yeah.
I dreamt, and I became.
Yeah.
I didn't listen to anybody, including my mom. She would
Everything
say,
I ever done in my life never existed until I thought of it. And I never let anybody take it away from me.
And always remain humble and true to your roots.
Exactly, and
That's
grateful. Gratitude.
Seriously.
Gratitude of
Gratitude.
Shout out.
An
Attitude of
attitude of
gratitude.
gratitude every day when
There you
you
go.
You had
Love it.
a saying that you said to me today.
Okay.
Okay.
My phone. I'm going to read it to you.
Okay.
So I'm reading.
So she is like the
I'm the woo-woo queen.
the woo woo queen we call her because every morning she has like this message she sends out, right? And pretty much I it comes across because she sends it 8 times to me to say make sure you read it. So I read it and then she but each day she has like this really good vibe, and she says hi to everybody. And believe it or not, we grew up together.
Yes.
I
She's
figured
known me
that's-
for over 30, 40
I
years.
figured Chicago.
Don't age us like that.
Yeah, I know.
28. What are you talking about?
22 years
Yeah, exactly.
since seventh grade, I believe.
Yep.
So we went to school together. We lived in the same neighborhood on the same damn street.
Yep.
It's meant to be.
I know.
I'm telling you, when something's meant to be, it will be. Even if
Yes.
it happens and then it goes away, if it's meant to be, it's going to all come back.
What's meant for you will find you.
So
Yes, it will. So I'm reading.
You don't have to whisper on a microphone.
This is.
hey, I just saw that too. I was like,
So
This is what I sent, and this is quoted from a book that I'm reading that is just, I listen to audiobooks, it's amazing. We are all souls in growth. We all have an original intention that's positive and that we can remember. Our responsibility is to hold that idea for everyone we meet. That's the true interpersonal ethic. That's how we uplift. That's the contagion of the new awareness circling the planet. We either fear that the human culture is falling apart, or we can hold the vision that we are awakening. Either way, our expectation is a prayer that goes out as a force that tends to bring about the end we envision. Each of us must constantly choose between these two futures.
see, when you get messages like that, right?
I
constantly.
love
It's
it.
because of her that I didn't shoot the landscapers who started at 6 a.m. because I was like, I have to take this love in. That blower is going to go off eventually.
I'm
Right?
You have to be in a place of love and one love. And this is so beautiful. If I may just add my comment about this means a lot to me. I know I haven't said a lot here, but this goes to show you that people of any race and all races and all ethnicities and sizes, shapes, ages can come together, collaborate, and have one love, have unity. We need to bring unison and harmony and love to this world, not
We got to
more
bring music
divide.
back too.
Yes.
There's
So
no concerts, nothing to release this
yeah,
energy
music
with.
is so healing.
Yeah, like Coachella and all this.
He has an EP coming, and I'm
Well,
featured on it.
well, that's why
Okay, well,
Stonerville
plug,
was such
baby,
a big
plug.
success, and we made history as the first festival back from COVID. And we got a clip that we queued up. Johnny Boys edited that we want to start a channel. It's a tour. So who could bring the consciousness of love back to the human family? It's the weed community. I hate to say it.
Yeah,
No,
it's
it's
It's because they grow as farmers. They have music and the one love mentality. They also have created a healing medicine that creates health and wealth. And they are able to work within each other and circulate and barter and be smarter without any criminal means below radar. And I think we overlook this community, this group, this genre, this niche, and don't give it its flowers. Literally, its flowers. Because of the stigma that was created by the DuPont family.
Well, now we're pointing out potential sponsors. So
Well,
I'm just
They
making a joke,
legalized
buddy.
marijuana in the 70s. The truth is the truth. I will always speak the truth. I will not withhold it. Just like how I support Trump. I'm just letting you know that the reason why cannabis was legalized in the 70s when they knew that hemp was the first rope, and cannabis was called calamus in the Bible. It was the first rope used for horses when they were tamed by the tangerine. It's a special family, and there was a Dr. Ruth, I have my notes, she discovered it. She was an Armenian doctor that discovered that calamus was cannabis in the Bible, and it was mistranslated. And how also in the temples that the actual cloud, the pillar of cloud that was in the ark, was actually cannabis being as a burnt offering. It was used also as an anointing oil. They poured cannabis and calamus.
So did that happen in Maine? With your
Yes.
family and the Headless Horseman?
We have documentation somewhere, some journal.
Well, guys, our hour is almost, I think it's pretty much up. I think we've gone a little over, but I want to say, is there any plugs, websites, anything from you? Michael, you good? Well, first of all, thank you everybody for coming on. It has been an honor to talk to you today. My heart is lifted. I feel much better. I want to thank Bonita, Nancy, Laura for coming on, Johnny, Darislove, James Ward, and Mr. D. Van Tassel. Thank you, everybody. Have a good one. We'll see you next Friday, same time, same place. See ya.
Beautiful.